Guys, we're the final stretch. We got 2 more comics left. Let's keep the energy up there. The next guy came all the way here from Worcester, Massachusetts. Give it up for the very funny Spencer Canestraro.
That's a hard last name.
Guys, keep it going for your host, my boy T-Nut. Never fucking nut, dude. Funny as hell, man. Great name for nicknames, Trevor Nut. You know what I mean? Like, can't go wrong. How you guys doing? I know I'm the second to last comic, and like you guys have been great the entire time. How are you feeling? Still, you know? Yeah. Well, you know. Not to brag or anything, but I did jerk off before coming here. Yeah, man. I'll tell you what, the reason why is because I did a show in Dorchester not too long ago, and I thought, you know, before the show, you know, I'm like, all right, I got a little bit of time. I'll align the chakras a little bit. You know, all right? And for whatever reason, like, I couldn't get it going. I couldn't get it going. You know what I mean? It was just, my dick was on holiday. It was really, and then I went and did my set, and I bombed, like, really bad. And I've determined that the cause, there's no medical, like, term for it yet, but, like, nervous and full of cum is what I'm calling it, okay? Like, which, by the way, in terms of a combination of things to be, nervous, full of cum, that's like a deadly combination for guys, okay? That's how mistakes get made, okay? I mean, all right, you guys all saw Mitch McConnell, right? Like, you know, a lot of people were like, oh my God, that poor old man, he just had a stroke on national TV. No, I knew right away. I was like, dude, nervous, full of cum, all right? This guy hasn't had sex in like 25 years, all right? Like, let's be honest. Although, look, Somerville, I'm not sure if I'm going to be fair. Joe Biden, he might not be nervous, but he is definitely full of cum. Like, there's something going on there, man. I don't know. What if, just hear me out, okay? What if Jill Biden gave Joe a very public hand job, and all of a sudden he starts speaking perfect sentences, okay? Like, I would win a Nobel Prize. Okay? So anyway, this is all a long way of saying that, like, I'm not nervous and I'm definitely not full of cum. And I think it's going to be good for all of you. So, God damn. In 2024, I decided I'm going to grow a mustache. I've never seriously tried to grow facial hair in my life, so I figured, I'm like, all right, let's go for the riskiest form of facial hair, you know what I mean? Let's go for the one where, like, if I get it wrong, I look like a domestic terrorist. Like, dude, patchy mustaches have a bad reputation amongst the white community, especially. I don't know. Whatever. I enjoy, in my spare time, I enjoy fucking with surveys. Let me explain. I like when, like, surveys ask, like, you know, what's your race, right? That's, like, a common one. What I like to do is I like to bubble in black, and then cross it out, and then bubble in white. Just so the person who has to look at the survey is like, okay, what does this guy not know? Like, what's going on? What is your gender? Okay, female, cross it out. Other, cross it out. Male, and then that guy's like, dude, what the fuck? We got a Rorschach test filling out surveys. Man doesn't even know. Oh God. why do they call it, I'm thinking about this for a second, why do they call it doggy style? We're the only animals that don't fuck like that all the time. Listen, if you saw 2 rhinoceroses in Africa doing reverse cowgirl or whatever, like, whoa, like, but here's the thing, that has happened 0 times. And I think all other animals, like if they saw how we fuck, they would just be like, this is crazy. Like, this is... Wow. Golly, man. I'm trying to... I gotta be honest, I'm contracted to do 10 minutes, either that they're gonna kill my family. And I think I'm at like 5. I don't know. We'll see, alright? Just keep an eye out in the obituary page. Last name Castraro. Golly, man. What can I talk about, man? I don't know. I know you guys are like, Spencer, what's your thoughts on foot fetishes? I'm gonna tell you. Look, I'm prepared to jump the gun on the history books here, folks. Okay, ready? So like, I'm gonna blame the rise in foot fetishes on the movie Cinderella. Like, have you watched Cinderella recently? I have a young niece. I watched it with her. The entire back half of that movie is one guy who fell in love with a chick and then went across the entire land with her shoe and was like, please, I need to see your feet right now. And then when he found the perfect foot, he married her. I mean, come on, man. I mean, dude, Walt Disney was a freak. I mean, look, can I say something risky for you guys?
Yeah.
Little known fact. Sleeping Beauty, Bill Cosby's favorite Disney princess. I'm sorry. I know. What he did was terrible. I'm just, I don't know. But anyway, back to foot fetishes. So here's the thing, right? So like, my whole thing, like, I think foot fetishes are gross. Ew, you know what I mean? But I get it. Like, it's like, listen, for me, it can't just be any old pair of feet, right? Like, it's gotta be special, you know? I'm not gonna fall in love with a pair of feet that I meet at a 7-Eleven at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's not happening, all right? But like, let's just say, like, all right, Taylor Swift sneaks into my room, okay? And I get home, she's on my bed. And she's like, it could happen, by the way, it could happen. I know you guys are like, this is ridiculous. It could happen. And she's like, damn, baby, I really want you to be in my feet right now. I'm not going to tell Taylor Swift no. You know what I mean? Like, all right, I kind of lost you guys with that one. That's fine. All right, I got one more thing. I just got the light. That means I got to go. But, clap if you watched sitcoms growing up. Anybody? Sitcoms? Yes. Anything in particular? Shout them out. Anything?
King of Queens, Full
King of
House.
Queens? All right. Classics. I was a big fan of the show George Lopez on Nick at Night. Yeah. For me, man, I don't know. I was 11 at the time. I just thought, like, okay, I'm starting to understand the humor. It's kind of dirty. It's kind of funny. You know, shit like that. I also thought the daughter on that show was smoking fucking hot. But, you know, so I'm 11 years old. I'm going through some changes. I don't have access to hardcore porn, internet porn yet. I used to jerk off to the George Lopez show in like a 20 by 20 family room, butt ass naked, except my socks. My socks stayed on. Feet can't get cold. And I would just be like, like, I was like, oh my god, a boob jiggled. Like, this is so hot right now. And like, ladies, you're not gonna understand this next part, but like, man, have you ever looked at the space between two couch cushions and thought, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, so that's what I do. I would fuck my dad's couch. Remote in this, rewind, pause, play. Just furiously fucking this couch. Multiple positions on the couch. I would put a footrest. I would lay down and do this. It was hard to get leverage, but I would do this. And then the craziest thing in hindsight was I would fuck the backrest, but the thing is, there's like this big picture window right here, like big bay window, looking out into the street. So like, if you were driving by at 10:30 at night on Shaman Ave in Marlborough, Massachusetts, there's a high chance that you just saw my sweaty upper body and my dick popping through the couch cushions. Like, it was... I can tell you guys are disgusted. I never came to the couch. It was a pull-out couch. Guys, that's